Good evening, Coffee County, and welcome to the Chick-Fil-A Douglas Coaches Show. We are live here at Chick-Fil-A Douglas on Cheer-tastic Bow Bash night. That was our Coffee County cheerleaders. Special thank you and shout out to them for being here for our event tonight, and to their coaches, Tiffany Ricketson and Nikki Davis. We appreciate them. They're supporting our boys every Friday night. And we appreciate you for joining us here live in our dining room and also online via YouTube. We just want to encourage you. We wasn't here last week. We're glad to see you, but encourage you to share this video and share it out to the community, because we want to just share all the great things that are going on here in Coffee County, but especially featuring our football team, who had another big win Friday night. Coach, congratulations on that victory. It was a huge victory. Before we dive into that, 6-0 now, and before we get in and talking and breaking all that down, let's talk about at the younger ages, our 7th, 8th, and 9th grade and 6th grade, and kind of what's going on there.
Well, so 6th grade finished undefeated. Coach Martinez and his staff do a great job down there with those guys. It really amazes me. I don't get to watch them a whole lot because they start so early and they play on Wednesdays most of the time, and we're at practice. But the few times I have gotten to go down there, it amazes me how quick they can take those young kids and execute the things that we do. You know, they do it on a smaller scale, but I mean, they put kids in motion and they adjust to other people, what they do offensively, and so it's quite impressive. Proud of those young guys. Got some really, really good players, and now our job is to keep them in the program and have a great off season. 7th grade, Coach Cooper and his staff, man, what a well of a job they did last Wednesday night in Jardine. Beat Valdosta 16-8 to win the conference championship. So they beat Colquitt twice. They beat Lowndes. They beat Valdosta. They went undefeated. Other than first game of the year, they played against Fitzgerald's whole middle school team. You know.
So here's a fun fact: Valdosta, the Wildcats are in high school. They were the ones I just couldn't stand.
I understand.
My junior year in high school, we snapped a 32.
Fumblerooski, right?
Yeah, it was the Fumblerooski, and we beat them, and I was playing quarterback that night. So that was a great memory of mine. And so I'm glad that they topped off the Wildcats to win the championship.
I hear you. But, Coach Cooper, great job, his staff. Love watching them practice. Love watching his staff interact. And, you know, they're really good men that poured a lot into those kids. And I'm excited about that 7th grade group. There's some size, you know. But the thing I really love watching, they compete.
Yeah.
You know, they had 2 little corners that were not the biggest kids in the world, but man, you're talking about competitors and stepped up to the challenge. In 8th grade, played for the championship, lost over at Colquitt last Thursday evening. But those guys, there's some talent with that group coming as well, so I'm excited to get those guys. 9th grade had a big win over Ware County the other night at home. They're undefeated. Coach Brockington, you know, made him the head 9th grade coach in the offseason. He has done a tremendous job, and his staff. If you'd have told me at the end of the summer that they would be undefeated, because there's not a lot of them, you know, and this is not a shot at those kids. They have done a tremendous job. There's about 32, 33 of them, and, man, they've just kept getting better and better, and they had a great practice this morning. They go over to Pierce County Thursday to finish up their season. It'll be a tough battle because they're going to play Pierce's JV team, you know. So I told them they can run the table, you know, and finish this thing undefeated. I'll get them some T-shirts. But really proud of that group of kids and that group of coaches and how far they've come since the spring. And then JV were a little short-handed last week, had some kids, both starting running backs, or guys that carry the ball on Thursdays were out with injuries. But I told you before the show, something really, really good came from it. We moved old Travis Adams, old Bug, over there to run the ball. I said, man, he's got to be able to run the ball. I mean, he looks the part. He is big and fast and physical. And, man, he did a great job, like a natural, you know. And so this morning when we practiced, Travis Adams has moved to running back, you know. And he was our special teams player of the week. And we've been trying to find a spot for him where he can feel comfortable and just go play. Yeah. And I think that might be the spot. So you never want to see kids get hurt or injured, but something positive did come from that with old Bug moving to running back. And you can never have too much depth, you know.
Yeah.
And
especially in our region.
Absolutely.
Man, that's one that's the fulfilling thing about coaching as well, is to see these young men, and especially maybe some of them, sometimes for me, I can speak to me personally, was watching some of these young men through adversity, knowing that something's there, but just couldn't quite get it to click, and then when it clicks, man, it's just such a rewarding thing to sit back and watch them fill into their role. So that's great. Congratulations to all those teams, middle school teams, and winning is contagious, Coach.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of winning, we're 6-0 now. Our first region home game was this past Friday night, where we won 62-6. And Robert Preston, he had a great write-up. He was sharing with me before the game. And you can also see this on his pages that he does his write-ups every Friday night. He's starting to share some videos. This week's video was LG Polk sacking the quarterback, who had a huge night defensively. But this we broke set history Friday night. Up until Friday night, dating back to November the 5th of 1982, Coffee had won 54-0 over Glenn Academy. So Friday night's win over Bradwell Institute is the largest victory of margin in Coffee County history in a region ball game. So congratulations to that. You're continuing to just kind of set records that we didn't even know were out there.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that's great.
You know, the thing I loved about the other night is our starters. You know, the challenge was to go play to the standard that they had set, and I say this every week, and it sounds cliche, but I think our kids see this and believe it. We're going to practice the same way, no matter who we're playing. Like on Mondays, we have a certain things we're going to do, you know, and our kids know that. And then tomorrow, there's certain things we're going to do during class, and there's certain things we're going to do after school. And then Wednesday, we're going to go down to the stadium, and we're going to sharpen everything up. And then Thursday morning, you know, we're going to do our walkthrough and simulate a game in class. Friday, we have certain protocols. And, you know, I think that just breeds winning, you know, and guys get comfortable and familiar with what we're going to do. And the challenge was for the starters to go out there and handle the business and do what they were supposed to do. And man, it was a long first quarter because they threw the ball every play. But I think it was 28-0 or 35-0 in the first quarter. But so many kids touched the ball, whether running or receiving. We had 3 different kids complete passes, you know. But then the challenge at halftime, you know, and I told our older guys, now this is your opportunity to go give back to the guys that work scout teams for you, that help prepare you, you know, for the start of the game. Now you help us coach them. And then the challenge to the guys going in, I don't want to see a drop-off.
Yeah.
I better not have to use timeout because we're unorganized and we're not paying attention. And I don't want to see a drop-off in the effort, right? You guys want to go play, you know, go show us that you can play. And they did. You know, it was a running clock, so the half went by a lot quicker. But man, their effort and their enthusiasm, and we gave up a late touchdown there. We had some confusion in the secondary, but other than that, I mean, those guys went there and executed and played their guts out, and that was positive to see. And you love it when you can get everybody in the game because all these kids work their tails off. You know, they come off summer. It's a 24/7 deal, 365. Right. They don't get much time off, and to see them get an opportunity to get in the game at our home stadium in front of our fans and their families and go play, that was awesome to see.
Yep. Well, you didn't waste any time. Your opening play from scrimmage was an exciting one, and it was a reverse wide receiver pass, I believe. Bray threw the touchdown pass. So the offense got started fast and stayed there. But it was really good to see Maurice. We're going to be interviewing lately, but it was good to have Maurice Hansley back.
Absolutely.
Trey did a phenomenal job. We featured him in our last show, but let's talk about offense now, and specifically having the quarterback, our leader, back on the field Friday night.
He just, you know, there's no substitute for experience.
Right.
You know, and I warn people, like when Trey stepped in there, Trey's done a great job. He and Tyrese Hansley might be the 2 most improved kids on our team, just from a mental standpoint of how to prepare, what to expect, maturity, you know. But at the end of the day, there's still things that Trey's going to see that he has not seen.
Yeah.
You know, where Maurice went through that last year. Now, the great thing about it moving forward is when Trey goes in there, you know, we don't expect a drop-off, and it helps the program moving forward. I mean, the next 2 years with him is going to be lights out because of the experience he's getting this year.
Yeah.
You know, and I made it a point the other night. I told Coach Smith, our quarterbacks coach, I said, listen, let's put Trey in either, every third or fourth series and keep him engaged and keep him going. And he did a great job. I'm telling you, the best play he made all night was pulling the ball on the option in the quick pitch because he struggles sometimes, on the pitching the ball to the left.
Yeah. And
he laid that thing to T.J. Birch right there in the bucket, and we scored on the option game. But that's something he's worked on.
Yep.
And he's a competitor, and he wants to be able to do all of it. And then, so I think Maurice threw 3 touchdown passes. We scored on the option game. I think Fred scored 3 with power football. So we scored a multitude of different ways, and that's what we want to be offensively because, if you load the box, take Fred away, we've got to be able to throw the football when we want to, not just when we have to. And then the option game, slows people down from blitzing as much and things like that. And so that's who we're going to be offensively. Coach Means runs the Glazier clinics all across the United States, and he called me last week about me and Coach Granado speaking at some Glazier clinics, which I've done it over the years, a bunch of clinics, and he said, well, what do you call your offense? And I said, man, I don't know. I don't know what you call it.
Whatever we need to be.
Some weeks it's a little bit gun wing tee.
Yeah.
Some weeks it's more spread. Some weeks it's more triple option. Last week it was a smorgasbord of stuff. And, we just try to weekly put our kids in position to make plays.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing is to make plays. And, I mean, you saw Terrell Mitchell catch a bubble. Daniel Gowan, tremendous young man, caught his first touchdown pass. You talk about a guy that works hard at practice, a great teammate, and to see him catch a touchdown pass, I mean, man, T.J. Birch, sophomore receiver, is going to be really, really good before this thing's over. Caught the option pitch and scored. Bray caught a pass, threw a pass. Tyreek Edwards caught a pass. Anthony Paulk, I think, scored on a touchdown pass and running. Fred scored 3. Tyrese Hansley.
3 for 3.
No, that's Maurice.
Tyrese,
I think, scored
Tyrese.
1. Antonio Goolsby, another young running back. He only had 1 carry, 24 yards, But that keeps kids engaged, and just proud of our offensive coaches, proud of our kids. But Maurice brings a calmness and a coolness and confidence, to our kids. Really proud of him, though. His first game, just the time, and he got rid of the football.
Yeah.
He trusted his eyes. His feet were where they were supposed to be. And he made his reads and got rid of the football. And old Jaden Hancock, old Herbie, caught a 42-yard touchdown pass. He's got contacts now, so he can play a little more offense and catch the ball. But, my plan going into this year was we've got to get faster and then get them jokers on the field, man.
Yeah.
Them jokers that can run, get them on the field and get them the ball. We teach our running backs where to go and what to read, and then after that, I guarantee you they've ran far more footballs than I have, you know, just like Jonah kicking. I tell our coaches, leave him alone. He's kicked far more footballs in real life situations through them 2 golden hoops than anybody out here, So let him be and let him figure it out, but proud of our kids and our coaches. That was good the other night. We didn't go down, when the score got out of hand. Kids kept playing hard. We didn't lower how we were playing based on the competition. We went and executed at the standard that these kids have set. Now the challenge is, can we do it again? And based on today's practice, man, you talk about a great practice, probably our best. And last week was really good. Today was like, I'd say, whatever y'all did last night, as long as it wasn't illegal or immoral,
That's right.
Keep doing it, and let's bottle this because it was an unbelievable day.
Well, the team has always played confident. Efficiency is basically the name of the game for our offense, and we were just kind of mentioning, trying to figure out, and you may know, I don't know, but our quarterback rating, we're not necessarily throwing up, big stats, which is what a lot of people want to see, but the most important thing is the efficiency, knowing where to go with the ball, especially the amount of receivers and running backs that our guys are seeing be able to do
if
that.
You look on MaxPress, they do. I don't know how you do the quarterback rating, but I know this. We don't have a lot of incompletions.
Right.
We average throwing about 12 times a game. Now, we probably called 20 passes at Richmond Hill, and Trey took off about 7 or 8 times with that joker. Salem too, so we probably called far more than what's on there. But hey, that's what makes him special too,
right.
man. That joker's a bull when he runs with that ball,
right.
But if you look on Max Preps and you look at the efficiency and the QBR that both of those guys have, it's like big time. It's like 130 or 131, which is,
that's great.
Big time. You'd pick them on your fantasy team.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
Fred had another big night. You talked about it. I think there was a total. I think he ran the ball 30 times Friday night. He took 17 of those for 134. He's just continuing to be that hoss.
Yeah, he
lead that room.
His week of prep was phenomenal. That's why I named him a captain. The other night. But and today he had a great morning this morning at practice, and he wants that single season rushing record. Coach White looked it up last week. I want to say Trojan fans don't get upset if I say this wrong. Now, I think Lewis Smith in 1997.
Number 7.
I believe
it was number 7, right? Yeah.
1,287 yards in for 10 games. Now, McDuffie had 1,296 last year, but that was 13 games. But Fred's at 961 right now, and he wants that record. Our offensive line really wants it, just
That's
because
great.
of all the smack they heard in the offseason about they were going to be the weak link and all that. And you talk about a fun group of kids. Now, they all went after practice today to Peking House.
Yeah.
So Peking, I noticed when I drove by here there wasn't a lot of cars at Peking houses. They may
ate
be
all
out of
food.
But you talk about a fun group of kids to coach, man, them guys, they're awesome. But they want that record too, so Fred keeps doing what he's doing and stays healthy. I think it's within reach for sure.
That's great, man. Well, we're definitely going to support him in that. And you know what? I'm going to look up that stat between now and next Monday, or Mr. Preston Robert. He feeds me a lot of stats. He's good at that. We'll find that.
That comes from our athletic director, Coach White. He spent time looking up
Steve White. You heard it first from Steve White.
That's what we're going with.
That's awesome. Well, let's turn our attention to defense. That's really, both are complementary football. Our offense is doing what they need to do, but our defense is definitely shutting people down.
Yeah, unbelievable. I say it every week, but their communication, physicality. Now, I was not pleased early with we got out of our fits a little bit there for a drive and didn't tackle great the first drive, but they got after it and forced them to punt. No, I think that's when the drive intercepted the ball.
Yeah, it was.
But then after that, it was lights out, and they came in with 5A's leading passer and 5A's leading receiver, and we did not put Anthony Falk on number 3. It was Jaden Hancock covered him, and he had 1 catch.
Wow.
All night long. LG and Lorenzo and Iverson Gifford and Montana McGinty and Kevin Gilliard and Will Hobbs did a tremendous job. We didn't blitz a whole lot. We dropped in covers more, and they got after that joker. And I think LG had 3 sacks, Lorenzo had 2, but mainly they made him run for his life. I don't know how much that quarterback ran the other night, but I'd like to have one of them things on him to track him.
Just to track where he was.
Yeah, he was running all over the place,
I did not know that. So 5A's leading quarterback and receiver.
Yeah. Leading passer, leading receiver. Now they throw it a bunch.
Yeah.
They do. But held the receiver to one reception. I got on Hancock a little bit. They really threw the ball in the boundary. They threw the hitch in the boundary a lot when they needed something. And I think it was 4th and 4, 4th and 5. And Hancock was playing off, and I was getting on him. Like, man, you're good enough. You're not that little sophomore from last year. Get up in his jump. Take it away. Make the joker throw a great ball outside. And he said, Coach, I got it. I'm baiting him, man. I'm baiting him. I said, oh, you like Coach Prime, playing. But the interception Isaiah Johnson had, Coach G and them put in the coverage to bait them to throw that hitch. And sure enough, and he told them all week, listen, he's going to throw it to you. He is going to throw you the football. All you got to do is catch it. And sure enough, he caught that joker. Now, they said he stepped out on the 14-yard line. It was close, but that was Isaiah's 2nd interception on the year, and then Simp had 1 as well. And so DB's playing at a really high level. Defensive line, it's complementary. Linebackers, if you look at our defensive stats, they're so spread out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's so many guys running to the ball and doing good things, and that's what you want. You know, that's what you want. And I cannot say enough about Coach Granato and those guys, the coaches on the defensive side, that, man, they put together a great plan every week, and they hold those guys accountable. They stay after on Wednesday. When we're done with practice, they make them do 10 perfect blitzes. If they mess up on blitz 9, they start over.
Yeah.
They stayed after today and had to go over there and get extra tackling on the sled. You know, it's just they're pushing the right buttons, but the results are there.
Yeah.
You know, so kids believe it and trust it, and fun team, man.
That's
I'm telling
good.
you,
They are. They're fun.
Around.
They're fun to watch too. And I was sitting here thinking from Saturday, Kirby Smart at halftime. You know, he said our defense isn't playing well, and the stat was we held Kentucky to 25 rushing yards.
Right.
And I was just thinking, that's what credit to your staff. That's what you're keeping these guys hungry.
Right.
And credit to them as well mentally.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18-year-old young men, you know, that's hard to keep them as focused as this team is. Yeah. And each week, just watching them grow even in that is really what's impressive and what's amazing.
I've learned the older I've gotten, and this is year 30 for me coaching, but I don't do a whole lot of hollering and yelling. You know, I don't know what it accomplishes really. There's times for it, but I'll just walk up to a kid, hey, is that your best?
Yeah.
You know, you work way too hard to not do your best. You know, now if the answer is no, it's not my best, then how can we fix it? Why is it not your best? It better not be an effort thing, and with our kids, it's not. So let's fix it, you know, where we don't make that mistake again. And this group of kids are really, really good at not making the same mistake twice, even with their eye discipline.
Yeah.
You know, when they see something, and Coach G has a what-if period on Wednesdays. I mean, they just throw, you name it, they throw it at them for 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, Emory and Henry, Polecat, I mean, they just throw all kind of double passes, unbalanced formations, and the coaches aren't allowed to say anything. The kids have to adjust, the kids have to speak, communicate, and that's really helped us. And then everything we do offensively, our kids have seen just about everything you can see, you know, formationally. So
that's awesome.
You know, again, very complimentary of each other.
Well, again, congratulations on being #1 ranked in 5A. I know as a coach we don't, you know, but it is an honor. I mean,
absolutely.
It's something for us to be proud of,
absolutely.
to tote, and our guys are still playing very well. Let's talk just briefly. Friday night is our first away region game. We're traveling down to Statesboro to play that. A big region game, especially it being our first one away from home. What you looking forward to, or what can we expect out of Statesboro?
You know, they beat Greenbrier the other night on their touchdown was a 96-yard interception return. They've got one of the fastest kids in the nation playing quarterback and corner, plays all over. Then they got another kid that's really, really fast. You know, Coach Dobson, this is his first year there. He's got a new staff, very similar to us last year. He came in about the same time I did. You know, he was a great, great player in high school, great player at Georgia Southern. He's a good dude, too.
Yeah.
You know, and they're finding their footing, and they're finding what works and establishing their culture. But, you know, as much as he's a good dude and I like him and all that, I tell our kids, man, it's about us.
Yep.
You know, and it doesn't matter where we play. You play this joker out here in Chick-Fil-A parking lot.
Yeah.
As long as I get to coach y'all and y'all get to go play and y'all get to play together, it doesn't matter. You know, now go. That's what I told them after the game Friday. The challenge every week moving forward is, can you restart the process on Monday, and are you willing to go through it with everything you've got, where you can go cash that check on Friday, you know, and this is a business trip, you know, so when we leave Friday morning, all our kids will be ready to be business attire, and, you know, those guys want to go to, so this is like, you know, you guys want to go play college football, this is how you're going to do it, you know, so they'll all be dressed up Friday, and we're going to go tour Georgia Southern. We've set that up for our kids, so they're going to get to go tour all the athletic facilities, and then we're going to have our devotion at Georgia Southern, then we're going to go down the road and have a team pregame meal at Longhorn Steakhouse, you know, just like colleges do, and then head to Statesboro High School, and like I told them, this Friday is the state championship. It's state champ. Last Friday was state championship 1. It's over. And all I know is Statesboro's 1-0 in the region, so are we.
Yes, sir.
And after Friday, somebody will be 2-0 and somebody will be 1-1. But we just need to be 1-0 this Friday, you know. And if today's any indication, we're heading in the right direction.
That's great, Coach. Thank you so much again for what you do for our young men, our community.
Yes,
I love the business trip mentality, giving them a taste of what the next level is. That's
Absolutely.
just developing those young men. We have a little something we want to present you on behalf of Chick-fil-A. We have one of our very own, Kat Tilley. Just wanted to do this for you for your 150 win
That's cool. That's awesome. I appreciate
of
it.
your career. So we
Thank you,
appreciate you.
Hang out
Thank
in
you
the
so
office.
much. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
And we're going to do Players of the Week. We're going to bring on,
come on,
Maurice. But as Maurice is coming up here, we just want to give a shout out real quick to all of our Players of the Week. We had our defensive hog was Lorenzo Harvey. Our offensive hog of the week was Tico Smith Jr. Our offensive player of the game is sitting right next to me, Maurice Hansley. Maurice, welcome to the Chick-fil-A Douglas Coaches Show.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations, man, on a 6-0 start to your season. And you guys, man, y'all have a phenomenal team. I've asked this question to several of your teammates who have been with us before. What is your favorite thing about this team this year?
Well, I could say that, like, we have great leadership on this team. The seniors, they refuse to like let any of the young bucks just do anything.
There's a standard you hold,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we hold them to a standard, and if they don't reach, they know that, like, we mean business.
Yeah.
And I just love the leadership that we have.
That's great. Well, I think that you're talking about leadership. It's definitely whoever it is, a group of guys. I'm guessing y'all do a fantastic job because that standard gets better every Friday night, or is at least held every Friday. Hey, man, I want to say last year I watched you play. This year in the off season, congratulations to you on the hard work.
Thank
You
you.
were a good football player last year. Man, you have become a great quarterback, a great manager of the game and efficiency. What were some of the changes that you knew you had to make in the offseason to be able to play and perform like you're performing this year?
Well, after last season, Coach Cole, he kind of made me put on some weight because I was a little after the season ended, I was like 171 pounds.
Yeah.
But now I weigh 184, so he made me put on some weight so that I can carry the ball a little more. Then I had got a new quarterback coach, Coach Smith. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal, man. He just good. He just knows what he's talking about. When you listen to him, it may sound like it's crazy, but then as you playing, it's like you can see what he's talking about. So being a listener, and that just helped me be a better player.
Well, that's one of the things that, as kind of growing up playing quarterback all through high school, the game just seems easy to you. Like, they've done a good job of making your offense, which if you look at it, like, you got a lot of moving parts. It looks complicated, but you guys you seem like it's easy.
Yeah,
the execution of it.
Yeah, we practice hard, real shout out to my O-line. I love them.
Yeah.
You have to build a mutual relationship with your O-lineman. The O-linemen, they are a big part of our offense, receivers, everyone, but mainly the O-linemen.
They protect you, don't they?
Yes, sir.
You got to make them happy.
Yes,
well,
sir.
man, you came back. I know you were injured. You bounced back. You threw 3 touchdowns, so congratulations on that. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to ask you this last question. Who's your favorite college team this year?
Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh, no. Man, I liked you up until that moment.
Oh, man, they're my guys. They're my guys.
They gave us a hard time. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. So, hey, listen, we wish you the best of luck. We're praying for you, man. Y'all go out Friday night, play as hard as you can, leave it all out on the field. And I have no doubt that if you do that, you're going to come back 7-0 from that business trip.
Yes, sir.
All right? Congratulations. Maurice Hansley, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
so
Go
much.
Trojans.
Yes, sir. Go Trojans, as he said. We're going to bring on our overall player of the week. Simpkins, Jaquavius Simpkins is coming. As we do that, I just want to give a shout out to our defensive player of the game, LG Polk, and our special teams player of the game, Travis Adams. So they call you Simp. Is that what they call you?
Yes, sir.
Simp, welcome to the show, man. Congratulations again, as I said to Maurice Hansley on the 6-0 start, number 1 ranked in 5A. And I don't know if y'all knew it, but you broke a record. You changed a little bit of history Friday night with the 62 points in a region game. Did you? So congratulations on that. For you, what was the offseason like? What were some of the things that you needed to focus on to get better?
My speed, my physical, man, my eyes. You know, man, we just had to communicate, talk better, all that.
So what all positions do you play?
I play everything. I play rover, free safety, strong safety. I can play DB.
Yeah,
I play everything.
Well, y'all are having a tremendous season. I think like 30 points or something overall that you've held your opponents to. What's the key? Is it communication? What is the key?
We communicating. We ain't being selfish. We ain't being selfish. We running to the ball. We talking well.
That's great. That's good to hear. Well, man, listen, I'm going to ask you, just because we're running out of time here, go play hard. We're praying for you. Who's your favorite college football team right now? Alabama. So we got 2 Alabama. So just so y'all know, we're not bringing you back on the show, okay? We don't do Alabama here. No, I'm just playing. You can hang out right there. Guys, thank you so much for being with us at the Chick-Fil-A Coaches Show. We had a great evening with our cheerleaders being here and the community. I want to encourage you to come out and join us next Monday night, 7 o'clock, live here from Chick-fil-A. You can enjoy your favorite Chick-fil-A food item while watching the Chick-fil-A Coaches Show. And we just know we got a lot of faith that we're going to be talking about our 7-0 Trojans, still ranked number 1 in region play. But I do want to encourage you, if you ain't got nothing to do Friday night, go to Statesboro, make that drive and support our Trojans. It's something to be proud of. There's something to be proud of. I want to give a shout out real quick to Robert Preston from Douglas Now, our very own owner and operator, Mr. Matt Baker here at Chick-fil-A Douglas, and one that I haven't get a shout out to who's always behind the camera, my friend Chris Wiggins with Centerpoint Technologies and Solutions. Chris is bringing all of the equipment in to have a great, wonderful show for you to watch, so we appreciate him. And I want to leave you with this. Psalms 9:1 says this: I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart, and I will recount all of his wonderful deeds. Here at Chick-fil-A Douglas, we bless you, and we hope you have a great week. Tomorrow, from 12 to 1 o'clock, we are trying to set an all-time transaction and sales record in our drive-thru. So you guys, if you love us and support us like we know you do, come out between 12 and 1 tomorrow. Get in our drive-thru. We promise you we'll have you through there faster than anybody else in town. God bless you. We'll see you next Monday on the Chick-fil-A Douglas Coaches Show.